My name is Rhapsody, welcome back to Monster Train 2. That is Umbra Awoken, and that's going to be our clan combination. Fire of Entropy, hello. Adds a eventual shard to your deck after each battle. Draw one extra card for every 2 blights in your deck. There's also 2 copies of Backed Morsels in the base deck. Nice to see. Consume to add 3 uncommon or rare morsel units in the hand, and a couple copies of Razor Sharp Edge as well. Adds 10 damage to a unit by taking 2 health away. And then finally a Husk Hermit 1/2 size sweep unit. We'll try and get that quick, which will be very good for Seraphiternus, Chosen of Savagery. I'd like to use the Gorge line of Penumbra. Nice, because I haven't gotten to really use the Glutton line. And I'll take Ancient Pyre-Tap. That's pretty huge. If I really need to, I can just pay health to play something. Bottom line is going to want to be Steward Hermit, then Steward, then Number top. That'll do it. Double Razor Sharp Edge for backliner. Can't stop, won't stop gorging. Oh my gosh. 2 Magma Morsels enough to get us across the line of taking out the Fallen Champion on top. Yeah, I don't need to kill low here. Top lane's gonna be completely comfortable. Yeah, what are you gonna do against the 9963 with a damage shield on it? More morsels is exactly what I want. Making of a morsel for the morsel mine. I really do need dense morsel production. I like packed morsels a lot. Problem is, you draw 2 of them in the opening and then suddenly you draw none of them for a while. Like, you really want consistency out of it. Should be Antumbra Assault. It should be. I'm trying to argue every way other than that, because making of a morsel with the 9/9's huge. But I need a little reach. Husk Hermit has it, but directed damage is also really important. I think I gotta get an Antumbra Assault here. Another Razor Sharp Edge, a Sting, and a Wildwood Sap. Oof. I gotta say, I don't like any of those right now. I'm going Merchant of Steel, Umbra, Merchant of Magic Awoken, probably. I could afford a single Sting in this deck. And also, you're not gilded, I've only just realized. So, get in here! Quick +10, Husk Hermit. I will eventually want enough morsels that hopefully I would be able to supply 2 lines with them. Husk Hermit does need to have a defender. Unfortunately, Crucible Collector is probably not the one I'm going to do that with. It's just the next banner I go to is going to be an Awoken banner, which is much more likely to give me my frontline unit, which makes me feel like maybe I shouldn't take the Crucible Collector. Increasing your health is often the very first thing that we need to solve. Because it doesn't matter if you have lifesteal if you die before you get to use it. And I'm going to give the plus 14 damage straight up to the Husk Hermit. Start a battle, enemy units burn each floor, not too bad. Realistically, in response to this, I should probably just set up on the top line. Sweep is going to be completely fine on top already. Don't need to worry about that. Guess I can give regen to the midline. Not really necessary though. In fact, I kind of want that unit to die. Get him, Husk Hermit. Literally going to sweep 7 units at the same time. I'm going to leave packed morsels in the deck and use Entumbra Assault here. This one's simple. It's only 2 morsels to summon, so I'm going to summon those 2 morsels. Not being able to take out the Savage Spearman in the backline was a real tough thing about that for us, but thankfully, immediately afterwards, we get the Entumbra Assault and do it. Get him! So all of the draw is going to take care of itself. Our energy kind of takes care of itself as long as I heal my Pyre well enough. Immortal Trade, Lifesteal, Ember Drain 2 to a friendly unit, Prismal Dust, X Damage Shield. I'm going to take Ember Cache. I like Ember Cache. Steel Enhancer. I do like having a single copy of Steel Enhancer, especially in a world where I'm going to be drawing as many cards as I am. Holdover and Intrinsic -1. I kind of want to put both of those on Entumbra. Or even maybe a Razor Sharp Edge. That's just plus 10 damage every single turn for the Husk Hermit, who is sweeping. Unfortunately, it feels like the correct answer here is take Thorned Hollow, use it to defend the Husk Hermit on the bottom line. I'm not thrilled about it, but I will do it. Ugh. I think Intrinsic Holdover or Razor Sharp Edge, just to keep that backline ramping its damage, Because it just needs to get across 50 and then 60 are two thresholds that it needs to hit. And if I have to cycle the deck 3 times for it to be, like 2 times and playing it constantly rather, in order to hit that, it's going to be pretty tough for us. There's also, though, I could give holdover to the Entombra Assault and then plus 10 there. I do need consistency of morsel generation as well. Okay, that's going to get that. You get the plus 10. Negative cost the other razor sharp edge. It's never a choice whether or not to play those. You just play them. Yeah, okay, I think that's probably a lot safer for us. Nice. I was wondering if I'd see this, because I've never taken Entropic Growth. Permafrost, reserve, permanently gain 5 magic power. It would be good on Entombra Assault. I just keep it for the right turn. The only thing is I don't really want to keep cards at all. Triple stack doesn't do anything for me. Entropic Energy doesn't do anything for me. Like, Entropic Growth is capable of getting an Entombra Assault upgraded to the... I mean, if this was intrinsic instead of additional 10 damage, it would be much easier to make this decision. And then I could get this up to 50 damage, and then every single turn it just kills the most potent backline enemy. But the thing is, it already kind of does. And I don't have to add another blight to my deck. A blight that's pretty expensive that I would have to play every time I draw it as well. I just don't have any good spells for Entropy's crystals right now, unfortunately. Especially because of the upgrades I just took. In the world where I did intrinsic holdover the Entombra Assault, I do think I would have made an exception and gone for the Permafrost, especially because I just haven't done it yet. Full heal off the lifesteal back against the 18 damage you're about to take. I'll also make sure I have lifesteal on the Crucible Collector's floor for the same reason. Unless it's like critical, I'm not gonna use my Ember for Ancient Fire Tap, or if I can, you know, immediately pay for it as well. I'm gonna want to spike the damage on this floor and health on the top floor, because you get damage from your Gorge, Penumbra, so I can kind of get away without giving you that much. I mean, honestly, Thorndollar kind of can die on that bottom line. It's fine. I'll just play a Shield Steward there next turn. It's almost exactly the same. Take the opportunity to spend all of my excess resources that turn, gorging. Looks like we have successfully gorged. health and health. Damage for the midline. Leaving those Vengeful Shards in hand or playing those Vengeful Shards is exactly the same with the Pyre Tap. Costs 1 either way. Six, 18. So literally we survive on 1 HP if I use a single restore there, so I will. And hell, I think I won't even have to proceed combat to the top line with that much lifesteal. Although the damage shield is slightly less impactful here. I think I should go capacity so I can throw more on the Penumbra's floor at the same time. Energy is also the other obvious concern, but Ancient Pyre Tap can kind of cover for that for a moment. For the moment. Shroud Spike. This is insane. Oh god, if only I got this with the before I got Entropic Growth offered. Although it would have been Entropic Weight. I can't remember exactly the name of it. The one that gives 4 cost reduction would have been incredible there. Blazing Bolts is also really good, and Wildwood Tome, apply quick. I don't really need a second quick attacker at the moment. I'm definitely taking the Shroud Spike. No. All of these want to lead a line, and literally, I've got one line leader, and our final line leader. If I got an upgrade on Thorned Hollow, like the other Hollow, I would have taken it. But I got Thorned Hollow again with the Calcified Ember, so instead I'll be taking money there. And Heaven's Light the capacity. I'm probably going Heaven's Rage. I seriously don't. It's the Energy Relic to me. It's just the Energy Relic. Merchant of Steel. I don't have many good upgrades I can get from Merchant of Steel, save Thorned Hollow stuff. But Thorned Hollow doesn't even really have that many good ones they can get there. Umbra Banner. Is there a world where I get a different Gorge unit instead for the Crucible Collector? Probably not. Is there a world where I get a Morsel Master and I play that? Yes. That's the Morsel Master. Interesting. So, Crucible Collector, Morsel Master leaves 4 slots on the board, so I play a Morsel dupe, and if I played a 5th Morsel, it wouldn't be able to dupe. So, size reducing Crucible Collector isn't especially important here. I will say Dualism doesn't seem especially relevant on you either, unfortunately. Without equipment to take advantage of that Dualism, getting the additional lifesteal, unless you're multi-striking, you're not going to expend lifesteal fast enough to care about that. It feels like I can one-size the Thorned Hollow and just give you 20 additional health. Glutton is going to get large, especially with a appropriately buffed not Rail Spike, the Shadow Spike. Shroud Spike. Here's an opportunity where I will be spending one just to summon a new thing. I would have been able to play everything if not the -1 costing. -1 deployment ember, rather. Nice. 4 morsels on the top line. Giving me some additional energy for this turn. Happily chump with a Spear Steward on the bottom. Double Miner on top 100%. Double Excavator seems good to me as well. I'm going to try and get a little bit of additional health for the Thorned Hollow. And burn the Vengeful Shard. That's what we got Reach for. Ooh, and Tumbra blocks the damage, then gets eaten. Gotta love that. Again, duping additional miners on the top line. More than happy to do so. Everyone can use one of them to block. Speaking of what we use to block, another Spear Steward for a chump block on the bottom line, please. I'm not even going to reverse that. I could, but I'm not going to. Yeah, this top line's been eating for every single turn. I struggle to imagine it'll have damage. Have any damage concerns, rather. Ajax, you can usually sap units an absolute treat. Only thing is my guy does 300 damage, so it's going to take a lot of sapping to get him down. Wretch, return eating units to hand. In a world where I'm eating as many units as I am, thank you. I can't take a Preserve Thorns. Eventually I'm already going to be drawing 10 cards every single turn, so the Sting spells will be garbage for me. Restoring Retreat. Best use case scenario is blocking Seraph occasionally. It's probably Unleash the Wildwood and just have the ability to play them on the bottom line occasionally. Full heal for the Awoken. I don't have space. Well, I was about to say I don't have space for more units, but the bottom line literally does. I mini-stoned the Thorned Hollow. Merchant of Magic's still really important. Obviously, double stack, consume removal, Packed Morsel, Spell Chain is the word I was looking for, not double stack. Cost reduction, consume removal for Shroud Spike as well. Duping the Shroud Spike would be huge also. I think upgrading and duping the Shroud Spike as much as I can right now is the best I can. That's as good as it gets. We're gonna consume, remove the Shroud Spike. I'm gonna -1. Actually, no, if I re-roll, it'll get consume and -2. I'm going to make Wildwood free. Yeah, because that magic power irrelevant. Reroll. We have to get Smolder Stone. It's the only thing that could have spawned in that position. So now I get +2 for the Shroud Spike. Double stack. Holy Stone. Not especially relevant anything at the moment. Great. That's fine. Empyrean Well. Second copy of the super buff Shroud Spike. Thank you. We'll remove Spear Stewards, Shield Stewards, all of those from the deck. They're literally just chump blockers at the moment. At best. Start a battle. Enemy units appear on each floor. That's so rude. Morsel generation, morsel generation, morsel generation, morsel, 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 morsel. So 8 cards in the deck generate morsels. I've drawn 9 out of 29. Okay, maybe I need more morsel generation in the deck for consistency's sake. Just not what it felt like last round. Gonna cost me an annoying amount of pie health. That. Before I throw that sting on top line, let me shade split on a different line than the incant one. Thank you. I wanted to get the corruption on the rubble morsel rather than the penumbra if I could. Crucible Collector is already going down in the midline. Granted, when we do it correctly, the bottom line's the only one that ends up mattering. I've only generated mana morsel so far, so if I retched, I would just get Ember, rubble, rather, which I could then eat a bunch of the rubble. Which I guess I do. I want to get as many Gorge triggers as I can right now. I could use this twice, it'd be incredible, because then I use one to spike energy, and then I use the other to use the energy on the X costs and do a bunch of... Like, the spell chain on this as well would be ridiculous. Okay. Retch. A rubble morsel, then... Shroud spike that for... Yep. Hundreds. And hell, I have space to play all of these additional morsels on the bottom line. I cannot hardly imagine the Thorned Hollow is going to be sad to see them. So yeah, it's about speed of drawing to and executing our first big Shroud Spike. Some lifesteal for the Penumbra would be nice. Keep your health up. I really don't need more spikes on the Thorned Hollow. Oh god. Well, here it is. Here's the turn that we exploit. There we go. We got the Rubble Morsel. So I play you. You get duped on the top line. Little Shroud Spike for a Rubble Morsel. Gaining 150 damage on the Penumbra. Now I have another giant Shroud Spike that can go out, but I can do it for a different type of morsel if I get one. Although I probably want to get rid of Calcified Ember in the meantime. Top line's already self-sufficient at this point. I think what I really want is a bunch of health and lifesteal on the Crucible Collector, because then I can just play all of these morsels here to give you additional damage to tie a bow on that. Oh god! Next hand is only morsels. That's fine. Lifesteal for the top line. And I suppose damage is probably next most important. Then healthy. Health. Kill my own Rubble Morsel to get better units. I should have used the Morsel Excavator on the top line. Dang. We can also get some additional lifesteal on the bottom line. So the Awoken Hollow in the front line is going to be around for a little longer, the Thorned Hollow roll. Still from Awoken. I'll count it. Razor Sharp Edge for additional damage on the Crucible Collector, and double the rubble. Perfect. Especially seeing the Penumbra already dealing 500 damage on that top line, I'm pretty confident we're going in the right direction. Feast. Trigger feeding on units with Eden, 100%. There was also an Awoken Rail Spike that spawned shortly thereafter and got collected. We got boons. Magic cost reduced by 25% this early? I think yes. +2 capacity on middle floor. Can be utilized a little bit. Friendly units enter with lifesteal 2. All of those, both of those are fine. I will take them, but they are maximum okay. The additional dupe here absolutely has to be another Shroud Spike. It is the most impactful card in the entire deck, and it will be until the end of the run. I suppose maybe there's an argument that Penumbra should go on the midline now that it's got additional capacity. Especially because now I would be able to take your Glutton line and benefit from the size of that. Though really, if I am going to Gorge, I should probably Gorge all the way. Nice. Razor Sharp Edge got Husk Hermit across the line. Now the Nourishing Cherub is going to die. Woof. I mean, I will Shroud Spike for damage on line 2. Only doing it for 1 was still incredible there. I need to get something like Pyre Stone, though. My Pyre is hurting. There's just too many Vengeful Shards in here. I'm definitely going Ember, obviously, as the next pickup. There we go. That's ideal. 4 Rubble Morsels will give me 4 additional energy next turn. Good lord. Feast, packed morsels, and there's a Shroud Spike in this hand. And an Entumbra Assault. Let's Wildwood the bottom line. Packed morsels for health, and... quick feasts. It's all lifesteal, I see. Lifesteal is probably a bit more important for Thorned Hollow on the bottom line. Helps you upkeep your HP at the moment. Thank you, Rubble Morsel. That's what I was looking for the whole time, because now I can use a Shroud Spike to do a bunch of Gorges, as well as gain a bunch of energy. So now the Awoken Rail Spike is ready to be played for 15. And with all of that, Vengeful Shards get 0 costed. The Restores are now right there as well. Shade Splitter brings a Magma Morsel. If I retch on this mid floor, I'm gonna get way too many morsels. But thankfully, I do have places to put them at least right now. I can gain energy with the morsels, but I may as well just use this to eat a good morsel 4 times. Which is likely to be, I guess... Lifesteal for the top line? No, it should really be on the midline, whatever it is. One excess morsel after that. I've got Shade Splitters for... I guess Morsel Generate. Yeah, I can use those to generate the Morsel I'll kill with the Entumbra Assaults. Worst case scenario. double miner. Oh, there's Feast again. Well, I guess Feast doesn't really help me right now. It just allows me to eat before the enemy, before the end of the round, which I guess allows me to do more damage with Penumbra. So I'm gonna do it. Just, it's not really gonna make too much of a difference. In a world where I have Wretch and Feast in the same hand, however, ... things are not the same. Morsel Miner, exactly the unit that I would want to do it with. Oh, that's not it though. So... Discard. I'm definitely going to throw Morsel Miner on this floor. Then Wretch. Right? No. No, because I only have one Shroud Spike. There's a version of this where I get to try and eat two. It's only going to be different for two. I can get 2 more energy for the Shroud Spike, ultimately, is what I'm saying. I don't know if that's really going to be worth it, though. And then that was that. Rubble Morsel, and then I guess just health, then Feast on that line. Okay, it's 4 additional energy. Okay, it's impactful. Then I will gorge 14 times on the Morsel Miner, getting up to 998, just shy of 1,000. On our Penumbra there. Throw the rest of our morsels on top line. Come on. The artifact that doubles gorge triggers. Come on. Where are you? I can hardly wait. I mean, I really do want the additional damage on the top line, but the additional health matters so much as well. And I'm just... Wait, can I even... Nope, I cannot keep the Thorn Dolo alive this turn. That's okay, I'll give all this lifesteal to the Husk Hermit. I was under no illusions that I was going to be winning on the bottom line here. 100% of our planning has been towards the idea of winning on top. Middle. On top of the middle. All the additional damage and lifesteal for the top. I guess I could have played it for a free morsel on the midline. Having the additional energy to play with at the end of this fight. Oh, that's going to be useful. Hilarious. I'm going to be taking the I've already got the most busted Shroud Spikes. I don't need that. Umbra Stone, however, trample for that midline. Yes, please. Hell's Flame. Merchant of Arms, Merchant of Steel. I'll tell you, the Merchant of Steel doesn't really hold much for me at the moment. Higher Remains, Healing, Unstable Vortex, Removal. Restore's a pretty garbage spell. Glut number 3, even larger. No stewards for the stewards' quarters. No free floor for Inferno Room. If I'm honest, Stoic Plate Mail 100% could go on. Thorned Hollow literally just as a single jump block defense thing. Boiler Room would give us a huge amount of energy just being on that bottom line. I think it needs to be made deployable as well. I think I'll take the Meat Shield and I'll combine that with the Stoic Plate Mail. Actually, hang on. Yeah, silence. So it won't be able to trigger the ability at all. I guess I don't need the Stoic Plate Mail. I took Stoic Plate Mail just in case I wasn't going to have a better piece of equipment or something to merge with it, but I guess I shouldn't. I guess there's also a world where I could take a Spell Sanctum just ready to throw it on a line as soon as it becomes useful. And it'll end up saving me some energy as well. Shade Splitters are much more important than Restores, which need to be removed yesterday. If I can't kill him that many times, I don't deserve to win the run. I say giving my enemies reanimate. Umbra Assault into... I'm gonna Spell Sanctum before I Shade Splitter. That's exactly what I was hoping to see. Then I'm gonna double Morsel. Double Jeweler. Throw the Antumbra on there as well. I will Feast. And then I will retch all of those units back up. And then give you the additional energy on the Shroud Spike. I'll use it to gain even more energy, only so I can play out the shard, so I don't have to worry about losing HP. Also, because by far the largest buff that the Penumbra gets is from its Gorge trigger, not actually from what the unit had. Thorned Hollow, I think I give you the Plate Mail right now. I don't think you need to keep that long term. I think the next time I see a piece of equipment, I could easily change it. Come on, gimme Trambell. Trombompoli. Oop, that's Shroud Spikes. That's Shroud Spikes. Wow. They're all damage. I don't have a single energy. Rude. I guess priority is probably health. So feed on health. 22 times there. And again. Big Awoken Rail Spike already, and there we go. The trample came just in time. Meat Shield replaces Thorned Hollow. You are now unsilenced. Nice. I do think Lifesteal would be pretty funny and appropriate for the bottom line. Working Rail Spike draws 7 cards, including additional energy as well as Feast. That's huge. So, additional energy. Oh my god, that's Wretch? I'm gonna use Antimbra Assault to gain... Oh my god, Morsel Miner. Yep, that's clearly our target now. I will Feast this midline to gain 4 additional energy. I'm going to save the 2 additional health as well, because I don't need these to be ridiculous, but looking at my Pyre being on half health is making me feel nauseous. And then I'll just retch it all back and do it again. And then we'll do it all again. What you want on midline again? Health, I guess? Have all the health you can eat. Yes. That'll do it. Hey, only 1 morsel left over. Although the draw pile is now just morsels for a while. Certainly fine with that in this position, though. No, I almost had exactly enough morsels to fill every slot. This might be the most morsels I've played. Like, I might get the award for maximum morsels if that is one of the awards the game can give. I mean, realistically, the right answer is just Shroud Spiker. Another one. Unless I have a second Shroud Spike in hand, the Shroud Spike should probably just be used on my best morsel. I do not need to interfere on that bottom floor at all. Come on, Shroud Spikes. Well, I got one in this hand. Okay. Oh, see what I can do with that. Let's go Morsel Jeweler and then just Shroud Spike ourselves 30 magic shield. Sorry, not 30 magic shield, 30 damage shield, thank you. Didn't survive the first response. Shroud Mitosis is obviously really good. It might be in excess of requirement, but also how mad could I really be about that? If anything, I would hate to have the opposite. And Pyagro. 1 additional energy each turn, draw -2 next turn. That's exactly in our wheelhouse. I need more energy and slightly needs to draw less. I do like duping, but do I really need a 3rd Shroud Spike? Honestly, 4th Shroud Spike I do think is a lot better. Again. The real problem is minion upgrades. Like, my minions do not care to go to that 2nd shop. At all. Do I have a 2nd upgrade on Ask Hermit? I do, yeah. That said, Merchant, I'm gonna go for the Pyromanes, actually. God triggers an additional time when you play your first Morsel unit of the turn. Draw 1, great. On deployment phase, draw an equipment card from the deck. Reduces cost to 0. I'm gonna take that. Units get an extra upgrade slot, excuse me? Alright, let's do it then. More health for the Thorned Hollow. Ooh. Morsel units into a damage shield 1. That's good for chump blocking if I really need to do it, but like I really shouldn't need to do that. I think our deck gets infinitely better every additional Shroud Spike I add to it. I also do think removing cards from this deck is probably a really good idea. Give me another damage there. Let's drop another restore. Take some additional damage shield on the Morsel Master, and that is that. Double Gorge. Double Gorge and 4 Shroud Spikes that don't even consume. This is gonna be great. I was really happy to see, hoping rather, to see the Stoke Plate Mail at the opening, because it gives me the ability to get all that armor, and then I can remove it when I play the other equipment, so I just get 60 armor out of it. That other piece of equipment. Also, Husk Hermit just got enough damage to eclipse Chosen Assassin. Nice. We're gonna have to chump block on the top floor, obviously. So many vengeful shards! So many vengeful shards! Oh my god. It's just morsel jewelers and magma morsels. That's all we got, buddy. I guess a jeweler in each of the lines. At least prevent the melee weakness hit from occurring. Double Shroud Spike in hand. There's a Feast and Shroud Mitosis. All right, give me Rubble Morsel. Thank you. First things first. Big ol' Shroud Spike. Then Shroud Mitosis. You can now have Trample. I'm gonna play out all the Vengeful Shards, get the additional HP on the bottom line. And then another big Shroud Spike. I'm not gonna play Feast though, because I would like those units to get eaten while the turn flips over, so I get as much Ember as possible. And that's a lot of Ember. I've got 3 X-Cost cards in my hand. Yay! This is what I've been building towards all game, and it's happening. It's really real. Good lord. The Rubble Morsels here are ridiculous. Realistically, playing this giant Awoken Rail Spike right now, or after I play the Shroud Spike first, I think I just go for the big Gorge number. Yeah, 3,266. Seems good. If only I could make you attack at quick speed, though. So now let's draw 39 cards and add -1 cost to all of them. Sadly, that doesn't 0 cost the rest of my deck. It certainly removes most of it. Gonna have to retch the midline. Then it's even more energy for the bottom, and then we'll just focus on additional damage from top. Still have 2 morsels in hand. Oh dear. Double rubble trouble. I'll be feasting on those for 4 additional energy. And then 42 times I will eat the morsel miner. However, it will be gorged upon 84 times. Getting our penumbra to 5,201, 2,504 for a stat line. That gorge interaction will probably keep rolling for a while. I will be doing pretty much exactly the same turn. It's just I can save an energy if I play the Shade Splitter on the second floor rather than the first floor, because of the Spell Sanctum I set up. Remember the Spell Sanctum? It's so very not relevant anymore, but I do have it. I think it's about time I give a ridiculous amount of lifesteal stacks as well. Yeah, let's get 43 stacks of lifesteal on Penumbra there. Now a proud 7,600 damage unit. This trample is literally just gonna murder. This is great. Unfortunately, I don't have a morsel that I can eat for health right now. Sorry, for energy. And sadly didn't draw one. It's okay. That's as many morsels as I can stomach. 8,764 damage, 4,196 health on the Penumbra. I think it worked out pretty well. It's literally the power of Shroud Spike, Shroud Spike, Shroud Spike, Shroud Spike. Let's end our turn so we can go and show the Titans what we've done. Oh, Titans. Again, we got Stoke Plate Mail at the first. Perfect. I'm gonna have to chump with Rubbles sometimes. I'm also gonna drop the Trample first, and honestly, I'll take the additional Shade Splitter and get another morsel for the midline. Spend 1 Pyre health to gain plus 30, plus 12 on Penumbra, as well as gain an energy next turn. It seems pretty obvious that I should do it. I do want to play the Pyrelite, but other than that, I'm gonna Shroud Spike just to get as much size on Penumbra as early as I can. Nice. Perfect. Rubble Morsel. Oh my god, double Rubble Morsel Shroud Spike. Great. Shroud Spike, one of them for a huge amount of additional energy, then Rubble and Sombra. That Highlight. I want to Shroud Spike again for energy. Then it's just retch that floor so that I can throw some additional chumps on top. Literally just enough to keep the Crucible Collector alive. Shroud Spike draws out a full deck, and oh boy. Spell Sanctum can be played on midline, thankfully. Feast is ready. Oh, Feast is ready. So that on top so that we have Lifesteal up there. I think I just lump all of the Curses of Entropy. I don't want Crucible Collector. So I have to pay the price of those. I said that, and then I played them all. I'm gonna not do that, but unfortunately that requires playing a lot of cards this turn again. It's okay, I'll do it as quickly as I can. That is not the turn I was playing. Gave me the wrong morsels, you see. There we go. There we go. Now I'll draw 38 cards. Okay, Feast is ready to eat on all those. So I want to do it on the top line? Maybe I Shroud Mitosis. Then Feast on bottom, gain 4 energy, and then use that to Shroud Spike the top. The number's already like... No, I'm gonna focus exclusively on Penumbra, and I'm wasting time here. This did not need to take anywhere near this long. I'm gonna keep that top line alive. Hello, Rubber Morsel. It's good to see you, buddy. I really just want to keep spiking the damage number of the number in the middle, but realistically, it's just keep the Crucible Collector alive and then just survive as many turns. There you go, have a ridiculous amount of health and too much damage shield and a bunch of lifesteal you don't need. There's a bunch of rubble. I think I should feast on that line. Don't really have any good targets for an Entomber Assault, I guess, except for a Morsel, which I should have done on midline. Oops. Also, like, ridiculous gorging on Thorned Hollow won't do anything at the moment. Oops. Fine. I'll just give him the damage shield. I wanted to give him lifesteal, but I forgot that he needs to survive this turn somehow. That's the wrong unit, but hopefully it's double wrong. We'll see. Yeah, I think 200 health on the Thorned Hollow will do quite nicely. Wretch doesn't really help me here. I'll take it because it's fun and funny. And because it'll give me a huge amount of energy for the next time. Oh, wow, you are taking a huge amount of damage this turn, Thorned Hollow. Yeah, I've heard about this bug, and I was wondering if I would ever get a chance to test it, and maybe I should do so now. I discarded the piece for it. Or rather, I played it. It's fine. It's Razor Sharp Edge. Apparently Razor Sharp Edge, because it's health removal, not damage, is capable of just removing the last health of the entropy. And I just showed, by hovering over it, that yeah, it would be able to do that. At least the pre-visualization shows that it would be able to do that. Yeah, there it is again. Alright, I'll take the opportunity this time. One big Shroud Spike for the road. Hit him with a Pyrelight just to show him what's up. Yeah, that's busted as hell. You only have to kill one of the Titans if you have a Razor Sharp Edge. Strongly presume that one will be changed. We have mastered the sting. Finally. Although, sadly, I don't get a tracker of how many morsels I've eaten or anything like that. Instead, I just get deck size on victory largest is 46. Previous best 43. Of course, both of those being runs that were absolutely chock-a-block with Vengeful Shards padding them out. The Shroud Spikes, realistically, though, were the whole run. Everything else was just make do. This was make nutty. Of course, Fossilized Fangs in exactly the same breath. Let's head back to the outpost and say that my name is Rhapsody. Good lord, my name has been Rhapsody, is what I meant to say. I'm gonna go to sleep. Hopefully you've been enjoying yourselves. Top left is a series playlist. You want my content of the game past, present, and future. YouTube recommendations are down below. Streaming past other names of the people so generously supporting the Republic on Patreon.com/RhapsodyPlays. And I'd like to thank Dan. A special thanks this episode to Jazzy. Hopefully you'll be enjoying yourselves and hopefully see you all next time.